I'll just give an intro and then maybe you can start with your presentation. Okay?
Perfect, perfect.
All right. So for those of you who are here right now, thank you so much for being here. It is with great pleasure that I introduce our speaker for today's webinar, Dr. Christina Radics. Dr. Radics is a dental professional with over 2 decades of experience as a dentist and a clinic owner. Originally from Sweden, she now lives in Spain, where she has expanded her career to include roles as both a professional speaker and certified coach for dental professionals. Throughout her career, Dr. Radix has been deeply committed to enhancing well-being, work-life balance, and team dynamics within the dental community. And she has developed the 3+5 formula, which is a methodology distilled from extensive research on the traits of mentally resilient individuals and the pillars of happiness. This formula serves as the foundation for her workshops and presentations, aiming to provide professionals with strategies for achieving personal and professional fulfillment. In addition to her speaking and coaching endeavors, Dr. Radix is the author of the biography called But Please Don't Tell Anyone. You should check it out. It's on Amazon, in which she shares, yeah, there it is, there it is. Perfect. In which she shares her personal journey throughout burnouts and emphasizes the importance of mental resilience and transformation. Her dedication to raising awareness and burnout prevention and stress management has made her a sought-after speaker at a variety of international events, including engagements with organizations like FEDESA and Dentsply Sirona in Madrid. Without further ado, join me in welcoming Dr. Christina Radics. So, Dr. Radics, whenever you're ready, just take it away. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this lovely presentation. And thank you for being here. I guess it's Sunday at your place too, wherever you are.
Yes,
So thank you. I really appreciate, and I hope you will find this valuable.
of course, of course.
So brilliant. What happens when you wake up suddenly one day, you realize that you're not really living the life that you thought was success? Then that takes me back to the quote that Steve Jobs said once. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. And that's the point I'm standing here today. And that's why I want to share my story with younger students so that you will not make the same mistakes like I did and many of us do. So I developed this formula 3+5, the formula of happiness and work-life balance. And that was a formula I extracted from different TED Talks, different studies, and articles. So my name is Dr. Christina Radics, and I'm originally from Sweden. But why is this so important? We know that 50% at least of all the workers all around the world are struggling from burnout. And if we look into professions as healthcare providers and dentists and doctors and other professions, we can even see higher percentage. So what you will learn today is first my story. Then we will speak a little bit about what burnout is. And then I will tell you about the formula. So when you leave this webinar, you will have a formula for happiness and harmony. And I know that 1 to 8% of the things that I will say is what will be left in your memory. So the first thing I want you to remember, and what I hope you will never forget, is this image. Never forget to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before attempting to help those around you. That is what we hear when we are on a plane, that is what we have to remember during all our whole profession and life. So this is me. My name is Christina Radics, and I am born in Sweden. My mother is from Greece and my father from Hungary. And my parents were very different, so they were arguing a lot. They had a lot of conflicts, and so my childhood was pretty stressful. And Nobody was a doctor or a dentist. But I noticed that I got a lot of attention um, when I was good at school. So I got very good grades. And I wanted to become a doctor, but then I wanted to have a family as well, very young. Somehow I can see a pattern into when we have a stressful childhood, sometimes we seek stress in our adult life. So I wanted to have family and studies at the same time. So I was 20 and 21 when I got Valentina and Pablo. And then 2 years after, I became a dental student. So I was studying dentistry as well with small children. And that was in Sweden. And then I moved to Spain and I worked 18 years at the same clinic. And I did all different treatments as surgery, aesthetic treatments, clear aligners. And I got my first burnout after 10 years, 2015. And then another one 7 years after, because that is how burnouts goes. If you don't change your mindset, you don't change and learn from them and change your life, you will have another one and another one, and they will hit you harder and harder, just like waves on the ocean. So, what is burnout? Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, often related to work. And the three main symptoms are these: you feel detached from yourself, you stop doing things you used to love. It could be like a hobby, it could be like you love to go out and dance with your friends, and suddenly you feel that you don't want to do it anymore. You feel emotional fragile, like you can be crying at one moment and then suddenly you start to get angry. You feel bitter. You start to distance yourself from people because you have so little energy. Okay. So you have so little energy for yourself, so you don't really want to be with a lot of people. And just like I said before, if you don't do changes and realize that, you will have another burnout that will become worse and worse. So if you're too busy to prioritize your well-being, eventually your body will give you no other choice. So 2022, my symptoms were much more physical than the one in 2015. So I got high blood pressure, I got panic attacks, and I couldn't sleep for more than 1 hour until my body just woke me up because of having so high cortisol. But somehow I realized that I wanted, I needed to take a step back. So I went to my mother's village in Greece, where there's only cats and dogs wintertime and pensionists. So I had a plan. I started to journal. I started to walk by the beach and I started to investigate, like, why had this happened to me? Why did I have burnout when I didn't when I had what I wanted? I had achieved the goals. I had a clinic. I had a family. Why wasn't I happy? And why did I feel so drained? And suddenly one day there in Greece, I found a book. I found a book called The Curse of the Strong by Dr. Tim Cantifer. He's a psychiatrist, and he noticed 9 characteristics of all the people that went through burnout or had some kind of stress-related illness. And those are the 9 characteristics. Perfectionism, you have very high standards. You're very responsible, often overcommitted. You're working too hard. You care a lot of others. You're very emotionally invested. You want people to like you or people to need you, and you blame yourself easily, and you have difficulty to lower the stress level. You exaggerate things a little bit too much, and you struggle to slow down, and you have low self-esteem, or you're very critical about yourself. And those characteristics are often positive things. Like those are things that people like. So you are very liked when you have these things. You're liked by your boss, you're liked by your patients and your family and friends. But step by step, you feel drained if you don't put and set boundaries. So what I realized when I was there in Greece that I had to change my life. So I became a coach and I wrote the book that Amirali mentioned, where I wrote about my journey and things that I had learned and realized could prevent this. Because if we know that there are 9 characteristics that will lead to burnout, I ask myself the question, why don't we teach the students then these things? Why don't we teach the students to set these boundaries so they don't have to go through burnout? Is it because it's abstract? Is it because we can't see it? So I found this, that there are 3 secrets that mental resilient people know about. And it's not my words, it's Lucy Hones. It's a TED Talk that I really recommend you to look at. And she speaks about 3 secrets. First is acceptance. You have to accept that all people go through difficulties and struggles in life. Doesn't matter what you see on social media, the perfect life, the perfect pictures. Nobody has this perfect life. We all go through struggles and challenges. The important thing is to have the mindset of what can I learn from this? And instead of putting too much energy on the problem, you should put 95% of the solution and not the problem. Another thing that people with mental resilience know is that they ask themselves, will this benefit or harm me? So if somebody asks you something, you should ask yourself, or if you get a feeling like, is this benefiting me or is this harming me? And that could be like, let's say you have made a mistake and you come home and you overthink it because you have very high standards. Will this benefit me to continue punishing myself to overthink it? Or what can I learn from this? And I let it go like a lesson. And the third secret is that people with mental resilience know that they should focus on the 5 pillars of happiness. And here they are. So the 5 pillars of happiness are self-care. Self-care is a 4-legged chair: sleep, rest, nutrition, and movement. And just like a 4-legged chair, we cannot remove one leg, because if we remove one leg, we will fall. So we need all of these 4. We need sleep because there is a system that is only activated during night when we sleep. And that system is called the glymphatic system, where the toxins in the brain, and probably you know this better than me, but toxins in the brain are like washed away. So we have a clear mind in the morning. Why do we need to rest? Why do we need to be without our mobiles? I know it's difficult. It's even difficult for me. So I can't even imagine for the younger generations because of the dopamine. But just doing things where we don't have too much impressions is because we need inspiration and creativity. Those are the moments when we get inspiration and creativity, when we take a shower, when we go for a walk, when the brain doesn't have to be too focused on something. Nutrition. We know nowadays that by eating certain things, for example, like magnesium, we have seen that we have improved brain function, improved sleep, and rest when we eat a certain amount of magnesium. So by controlling our nutrition, we can be much happier and healthier. Movement. They have seen in a study that people who walk, meanwhile they're brainstorming, come up with 4 times more ideas. And we know that by moving our body, we also release stress. So that's the first pillar. The second pillar is self-awareness and self-development. And I have to say that I have always loved psychology. So I thought I had this under control. I was like, I know myself. But I can tell you that I was 45 when I got to know myself. So, but I also have to say that you, the younger generation, I really admire you because you're so much more self-aware than my generation. And what is self-awareness? It's knowing what you want, what gives me energy, what triggers me, what drains me, what do I want? And by knowing what you want, from there you can set the right boundaries and having the right goals in life. The third thing, relationships. So Harvard University had done the longest study during 85 years, where they wanted to know who were the people that were happiest in the world. What do we need to be happy? Is it status? Is it money? Is it where we will live? And they noticed that the happiest people were the ones with at least one deep, good connection with another person. We need each other. So a lot of mental illnesses today is because of loneliness. We are more lonely in many situations. So connect. The fourth pillar is free time and hobbies. And that's many times what we left aside when we feel stress in our job, in our profession. We're like, oh, I don't have time to do my hobby. But it's so important to just do things for you, where you feel a flow. That's also important for the brain to do all the correct connections and find creativity, find that special idea that maybe will help you become a millionaire. That idea will not come when you're stressed working. That idea will come when you're doing a hobby or doing something that you like and you are in the state of flow. The last pillar, career and purpose. For highly driven people, we are many times in that zone. In the career, we go to all, especially, for example, I can speak from my experience as a dentist. We're all on all these courses. We just want to learn more stuff, become really good dentists, so we can give the best treatments for our patients. But somehow, many times, we forget about the bigger purpose. And what is very important to say here as well is that our purpose changes. Just because you had one purpose at one point in your life when you were 20, it's not the same as when you're 30 or 40. Life changes, everything changes, ourselves changes. So why should our purpose stay the same? And that is many times what happens when we think that we want something at the beginning of a career, and we don't listen to ourselves and we just run in the rat race and we don't stop and think, what do I want now? Maybe I want to travel a lot. I'm not saying that we just should leave everything and follow our passions, but yes, stay connected with ourselves. So that was the formula. We will repeat it a little bit again, but I just want to ask you if somebody has a question for me. I know it has been a lot of information, and maybe you're like, you don't know where to start. And I will also give you my contact. So whenever you need to ask any question or speak with me, I have a link on my website. So anyone?
Yeah, I have a question. So
Yes.
I was just wondering, like, how can like professionals, like medical professionals or just professionals in general, like create boundaries without compromising their career or like their patient care, just their own health? How can they like create boundaries to prevent burnout?
Uh, Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, how is it possible to like create boundaries for your own health and like to prevent
Mm,
burnout, while
yeah.
being like a professional or a student without like compromising pe other people around you or like your patients?
Yeah, yeah, very good question. And I know that's the tricky part, like being in healthcare, because it's all about the patient, isn't it? They have to be happy. But so it's not an easy answer, but it's so important by the end of the day, figure out what drained me. Did I say yes to something that maybe I didn't like? Did I squeeze in, for example, as a dentist, did I squeeze in a patient there? and maybe I missed my child's meeting, and now it made me sad and bitter because the consequence, because I tried just to please somebody. So it's not an easy answer, but it's staying connected with yourself, and by the end of the day think what made me feel good and what gave me energy and what drained me, and could I improve something for next time? Could I maybe say no next time, or change anything? Because the thing is that if it's not sustainable to not think about yourself, if you give and give and give, I don't want people to come to that point that I did, like I'm leaving my clinic. I love my profession, I love my patients and everything, but it came to a point where I had left so much of myself, but also my purpose changed, and I felt that I'm giving back by speaking about these things, to never forget yourself. But I know it's not easy. It's a constant work to listen to yourself and set boundaries from that. I hope it helped a little bit. It's not a straight
Yeah.
answer, I know.
Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you for the presentation. It was very insightful and encouraging.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there somebody else?
There's a question in the chat
Mm.
asking what your favorite part is about your job.
Mm. Okay, so right now I'm not practicing dentistry anymore. So that is not my job now. Now my job is coaching. So I love, I'm very, I'm very aware now about what I love. So I have even done a vision board, like young teenagers do. And I got inspired by my daughters. So I made a vision board where I have put everything that I love. So I love to travel. I love to go and have speeches and workshops and speak about these things. I know I'm helping people I know that maybe you right now have not been through a burnout because you're still young, but it doesn't have to be because you're young. I know people have been through burnout already in dental school and university. So it's not about age. It can come whenever. And often it also comes together with other things in life. Maybe somebody dies or somebody gets sick. So it's just too much to handle at the same time. Um, so what I enjoy is the combination of having speeches, traveling, and coaching. Like right now, I'm coaching people, not only dentists, but that is my niche because of my experience in dentistry. But I'm coaching people who are going through situations that I have been through. And it's so nice to be able to give back. Such a magical feeling. Like I can give back based on my experience. I think that is what happens when you go through tough times. You heal yourself, and then you want to give back to the world. So there are many things that I like now, but I make sure to stay in my passions with the things that I love and enjoy. Is there something else? So I have an exercise for you today is to write down things that gives you energy and things that drains you. Okay? So you all have like an exercise homework today to stay connected with yourself. And Ashia, you wanted to ask me something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask another question. So I was just wondering, have you ever experienced imposter syndrome during your career? Like, and if you did, how did you navigate it? Like, especially if you were in like an environment where like, I don't know, I guess like it felt like everyone else had it figured out. Like they
Yeah.
knew
Oh
exactly what they're
yeah.
doing.
Oh yeah. I still have it. I still have it. So, but and also I don't know if I have ADHD or something. I like to do a lot of different things. So what have helped me is I write down, like, Christina, what is important now? What is causing you stress if you're not doing it now? So I still struggle with it. I'm not struggling so much about people that I think that people have figured out things, because like I said, no, from my experience, people struggle their whole lives. You don't have it figured out even when you're almost 50 like me, you know? Nobody has it figured out really. It's an illusion. And that makes life exciting as well. You think you have it figured out, and then you realize you have a new purpose or a new goal. But the tips there, like write down the three most important things. What is most important to do today? You write it down on a paper, and then you can like erase it when you're done with it and celebrate your wins. Because it's easy to see what we are not doing, but we have to celebrate the things we're doing as well. I hope that was helped a
Thank
little
you so
bit.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. We have about 10 minutes left if I'm right now. Yeah. So is there anything else you have on your mind? So if not, yeah, Amirali,
No, I'm just gonna say we can move on maybe to the
we can move on. Yeah, perfect. So we're just in the end here. So I'm just, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so once again, this image, never forget yourself. And the formula 3 + 5 is that there are three secrets that mental resilient people know. Acceptance, accept that everybody go through struggles and learn from them. What can I learn from this? Number 2, will this harm me or will this benefit me? That helps a lot. If you ask yourself that question, will this benefit me or will this harm me? And from that, you can set the right boundaries. Like, for example, like if I add this task as well, just because somebody asked me, will this harm me? Will it make that I will sleep less? Maybe then I should say no, because of my health. I cannot be the best me if I'm not setting healthy boundaries for me. And the secret number 3 is that we have to focus on the 5 pillars of happiness: self-care, self-awareness, what gives me energy, what drains me, what do I want, what are my goals. The 3rd pillar is relationships. I have to stay connected with the people that want the best for me, that love me, and I love them. Number 4, the free time and hobby, because that is where we enter the state of flow. It's good for our brain, it's good for our creativity and inspiration. And number 5 is career and purpose. Like, see a bigger purpose of your career, more than just your job. What is it that I want? And be aware of that can change. So every new year, instead of thinking this year I will just train and become fit, think, have my purpose changed? Is this something else that I want? So here are my, there. So I'm pretty active on social media. So I'm on LinkedIn. I have 2 accounts on Instagram, both as the doctor and coach, and also my more crazy side that I developed after my first burnout. I realized, wow, I love music. So why shouldn't I become a DJ? So I have a DJ account as well. It's combination like between hobby and profession. And you can always email me. You can visit my website where I have a link where you can book a free chat with me. You never know. It's so magical. Just by speaking up about the problem or struggle, you can find out the answers yourself. And that is something very important that I want to share about coaching. We think that coaching is about maybe the other person should say how you should exactly do the things. But coaching is about helping you figure out what's the best for you by asking you open questions, because we believe that you have the answers. We have different journeys in life. It's not the same journey. Even if we go through similar things, we are a different person with different experiences as packages. So coaching is about helping the person realize what they want and how to achieve their goals and a happy life, a fulfilled life. So, and this picture here, Stress to Success, it's a new YouTube channel, um, a podcast where I invite different guests. So, I would like to invite you. Let's start with you, Amirali. So I will send you a link to hear your journey and your struggles, challenges, and success stories. How about that? Would you like that?
Perfect. Yes, I'm down for it. Thank you so much. Good pleasure.
Thank you. So that's everything that I had today, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope I could inspire and help you get the happiest life possible. Never stop dreaming and never stop following your dreams.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Radics, for your insightful presentation. Burnout's obviously a big issue, especially in the modern world, and I'm glad that you gave us so many valuable tips to cope with it, as well as ways to enhance your mental resilience and the 5 pillars of happiness. I think we should all note those down. Once again, check out Dr. Radek's biography on Amazon, but please don't tell anyone. I don't mean like don't tell anyone. This the name of the,
Yeah,
of course.
that happens a lot when I say my book, don't tell anyone. They are not, no, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm like, no, it's the name of the book. So
No, tell
I realize
everyone.
maybe I should have said another title, but
No,
that's
no,
the
no.
thing when you go through a burnout, you often say, especially dentistry, you say, but please don't tell anyone because it's a stigma. You don't want other people to know that you're going through a burnout.
Yeah, definitely. Tell everyone about the book, and the book's name is But Please Don't Tell Anyone. Um, yeah, check that out on Amazon, of course. Her new YouTube channel, Stress to Success. Make sure to check that out. I'll share these links with you later as well. Most of all, we appreciate your wisdom. We, as young people in high school and university, we really need lessons
Mm,
like these that you've provided us with to try to avoid burnout in like our studies and work,
mm,
etc., and to continue following our passions and hobbies throughout our lives,
mm,
to have more fulfilling relationships, which is super important, and ultimately more fulfilling lives, because these are ultimately the keys to happiness. So we'll keep in mind the 3+5 formula that you've created as well. So thanks for that. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on in this webinar today, and maybe we'll have you join us again in the future.
yes, whenever you need, I'm here. Thank you so much and take care of each other.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.